Hey polish fans, welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. My name is Caroline and I am a nail polish addict. So in today's video I am going to be doing a paint with me, and I've decided to do my version of a tag called Confessions of a Nail Polish Addict. And if you're watching this video, I tag you. If you've got your own channel, make your own video, let me know so I can watch it, or you can comment your answers down below. So the polishes that I'm going to be using in today's mani are these two here. I've been going back and forth about what sort of manicure I wanted for a few days now. I did do a peel off mani of my Star Wars manicure a couple days ago, and I did wind up putting 2 layers of Anchor and Heart Mermaid's Tears on my nails to sort of repair the pull up areas that happened on my nail. And since then I've gone through wanting pink of all colors. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that pink is not my favorite color, but I was driving to pick up some dinner with my husband, and all of a sudden I wanted watermelon pink on my nails. So I considered that, and unfortunately I don't have a lot of pinks to choose from, so that specific shade of pink I don't have. So I was going over my nail polish collection today and decided that, well, I actually like the sort of natural look that we have going with Mermaid Tears. So I'm going to do this sheer polish by Julep as a wash of holographic. I'm not sure if that's going to come across on camera, but it is this very soft nude holographic, and it is a sheer polish. So I'm just hoping to get just another layer of a natural yet holographic look on the nail, and then I'm going to layer this over it. This one is Fancy Gloss Fire Opal, for a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of that pink that I was craving, because this does flash to a brilliant hot pink among a million other colors. This one is absolutely gorgeous. So we'll see how many layers I want to wind up doing of that. And then my idea, depending on how I feel at the end of this, is to layer a matte top coat on top of it. But we'll see. So let's get going with painting this first color. And to start the tag, question number 1 is, how long have you been addicted to nail polish? Or have you been an avid collector, curator, etc.? And for me, that answer would be about 5 years. And I have liked nail polish for years. I have plenty of memories of being a kid and liking nail polish, being a teenager and liking nail polish, but it never really had a huge importance in my life. It was just sort of an accessory that, you know, you have just like you have pairs of shoes, and I didn't really think much of it other than it was something cool that I liked. And 5 years ago, my husband and I moved from Reno and went to the Pacific Northwest in Washington. And when we did that, I essentially wound up packing up my at that moment hobby, which was making jewelry. And I say at that moment, but I have been making jewelry since I was about 10 years old. So it was a lifelong hobby at that time. And we just didn't have the space for all of my supplies. What we were doing, because it was such a large cross-states move, I essentially packed up all of my beading supplies and put them into storage at my in-laws. And we moved into an RV temporarily so that we could drive up with some of our things and then sort of take our time at the house hunt. So for that time, I only had a small little portion of my jewelry making supplies, and the rest of it was in storage. And then even after we wound up getting a house here, we never really had the room for a craft room until we wound up with our second house, and that was a few years later. And by that time, everything was in boxes still. I never got around to organizing it. Long story cut short, not having that hobby as readily available to me, I was very into my second thing that I really liked, which was nail polish. And I had actually started to be more of a collector when we were back in Reno. One of my favorite places to go and look for nail polish was Big Lots, and you could find a lot of really fun deals. I got a lot of Revlons there. I got some L'Oreal. Sinful Colors was another one that you could get a lot of there. And so I had kind of grown my collection already at that point. But once we moved and I didn't really have that jewelry hobby to fill up my time, I shifted gears to nail polish, especially after I found indie polish shortly after our move. So that's the long answer for that question of how long I've been addicted to nail polish. Question number 2 is describe your dream nail polish space. And this one is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I have to say probably, I am totally blanking on her name right now, but she's the one that does Hollow Taco. I wound up seeing her videos a couple of years ago, few years ago probably by now, and I was just stunned at her display that her and her boyfriend were making for her nail polish. That was like all of a sudden my dream. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know someone could have that many polishes. I had no idea about that sort of a display. The whole thing just sort of made my jaw drop, and I was all about that. So that sort of became something that I really liked. I would love to have a room like that, dedicated to nail polish and sort of displaying my nail polish. I am sort of the mindset of if my polish is out of sight, it is completely out of mind. I have a hard time remembering what I have when you have a lot of polishes. So having something displayed on your wall where you can go in and look at all of the colors that you have and the different brands, to me that is something that's very appealing because you can easily see what you have, be inspired by a color, and pull it off the wall. The downsides, of course, are if you have a room where you're trying to set up your nail polish and it has windows, you do have to be careful of your polish fading and getting damaged. So that's something that also I'm trying to take into consideration, but I'm currently working on converting what I had been working on for my craft room and changing that into a nail polish room. So what I'm going to be doing is using the closet on one wall of the room, which is not facing the window. It's actually the window's here and that wall is here. So the closet essentially takes up the whole space. So we'll see how that goes. And I don't know if that really answered that question specifically, but that's a little bit of a description of my dream nail polish space. Question number 3 is, how many untried polishes do you have? This is another confession of a nail polish addict for sure. I have a lot. I'm really bad at buying polish and not wearing it. When you buy 10 polishes at a time from Polish Pickup or from a brand specifically, you can't wear all 10 unless you do a really fun Skittles mani, I suppose. But I've never done that. And so I wind up with a lot of untrieds in my collection, and I know I need to start working my way through them. I am working on sorting everything out and getting rid of some polishes, so that should be easier here in a few weeks to months to start working through the untrieds. But yes, at this point in time, I have a lot. Like, I don't even have a number. My collection, I think, is reaching 1,700 here quickly. And I would hazard a guess that probably at least 1,000 of them are untried. I know. Don't give me too much grief. I know. I hang my head in shame. In any case, that is how many I have for my untrieds. Question number 4 is, when's the last time that you destashed? And I'm working on that right now, actually. And the last time, though, that I did a destash was probably prior to us moving into this house. Before we moved, I made a point of going through all of my polishes and getting rid of ones that I felt were dupes or ones that I didn't really like anymore. and tried to narrow down my collection. And that's been about 2.5 years. So it's definitely time for another destash. I've also re-assimilated a number of polishes that I originally destashed. So it's definitely time to do a comparison of polishes that I have with each other. You'll be seeing a lot of those type of videos of comparing colors and seeing if any of them are dupes, if any of them are just colors I don't like against my skin tone, etc. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming here shortly. Oops, looks like I got a fuzzy on this one. Whoa, well, that was a big fuzzy. And I'm just noticing, because I've been eyeing my nails as I've been doing this, this is really dulled out on camera. This is this beautiful flashy pink in person. You see that barely there pink that you're seeing on camera? In person, my entire nail is like a fire right now. So very sorry that this is looking so dull on camera, but we'll see if we can't get better lighting here in a bit at the end of this manicure. So yeah, I am in the middle of starting that destash. So I've got my polishes sorted by color, and now I'm ready to start going through them and getting rid of ones I don't want and any dupes I might have. Question number 5 is any polish regrets or polish disappointments? I would say if you're a polish collector, you've probably got plenty. One specifically that sprang to mind is sadly a Zoya. It is this one called Aster. And I don't know if it's just my bottle or what the deal is, because the swatches that I saw of this were absolutely stunning. They are this beautiful periwinkle with shimmer. That's what I'm seeing in the bottle. But when I did the swatches of it, it just turned to this sort of dusty, more of a blue toned color than periwinkle. And it's washing out even more on camera, but it's dull compared to the color that I was expecting compared to swatches that I saw of this color. So this was definitely one that I was excited to get, and the minute I swatched it, I was sort of just like, wah, wah. Not what I was expecting. But I'll have to give this one a shot on my nails and see if I can have a different, viewpoint on it when it's actually on my nails. Who knows, I might like it. But yeah, it just is not what I was expecting it to be from the swatches I saw. Question number 6 is name one polish you almost got rid of but are glad you kept. And that one goes to this polish here by Sinful Colors. This one is called Flake Out. And I got this one years ago, probably at Big Lots. And I got it because, just look at the bottle. It's very fun. It is this shimmer polish with little matte blue glitters and silver holographic snowflakes in it. And the reason why I almost got rid of it is when I swatched it, I was sort of bored by it. The snowflakes are heavy, so they all sink to the bottom. And a couple years ago, I really wasn't that familiar with how to deal with polishes that did that. The tip that you hear a lot of people say is to sort of turn the bottle upside down, and they'll start to sink towards the brush side of the bottle, which can make them easier to pull out of the bottle for your manicure. But in any case, I just didn't really like how it came out. The shimmer is not that impressive. It's this blue to pink to light purple, but there's not a lot of shift going on. And I just was like, I don't know. I just couldn't figure out what I would wear this over. So I put it in my destash pile. And then this wound up being one of the ones that I re-assimilated here within the last couple of months. And the reason why I did that, and the reason why I'm glad I didn't get rid of it, is because of these little matte blue glitters. I'm very into those glitters at the moment. I have a lot of polishes that I've been eyeing that have those, and I love the effect that it has on the nail. So at least I have some ideas now how I can use this, putting it over other colors specifically for those matte blue glitters instead of for the shimmer, which is essentially what I originally got the polish for. So again, that one is Flake Out by sinful colors. And the last question is number 7. Any polishes you still like but hated when you wore them? And sadly for me, the first one that sprang to mind for that was one by Bee's Knees, and it was called James Bonfire, something like that. I could be mistaken. I don't have the polish anymore. But I don't know. It was gorgeous. I was really excited about it. I decided to wear it, and the minute I got finished with my manicure, I was just like, nope, I don't like this on me. The gold that it shifted to, I did not like that on me. Now, I very well might like it if I saw it today. Tastes change. You might not like something this year, but next year you might love it. Last year I didn't like oranges, and starting last fall, I love oranges. So it's just sort of constantly changing and evolving. And at the time, I really was not liking the colors that it flashed to. And I wound up destashing it, found someone that was really excited to have it. So it did find a good home. But yeah, I just really didn't like the colors that it flashed to on me. So that was one that I wound up getting rid of. So that finishes up those tag questions. I came up with 7. Like I said at the beginning, feel free to answer the questions in the comments down below, or feel free to make your own video and make sure that you let me know so I can go and check it out. And this is what we've got so far with our mani. Like I said, on camera, it is just dull. It is overcast today, so I'm not sure if that's the main cause or what the issue is, but let me see if I can get a better light here. Well, unfortunately, the lighting that I tried did not work for this, so I will try to get a good picture of this and post it up here. In any case, that's the mani. I think for right now, I am just going to leave it shiny. I might change it up in a day or so with matte top coat, but for the time being, there's the mani of the day. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in that next video.